Hi, and welcome to a moment of encouragement this week. My name is Pastor Doug, and thank you for joining us for this week's midweek encouragement time together. Whether you're on Facebook or you're on our YouTube channel, we just want to thank you so much for being here. We wanted to give you a little bit of an update as well on the COVID-19 and the way it's affecting our church. You know, earlier this week we released a video saying that because of all the regulations from CDC and the federal government, we are redirecting our meeting times, our Sunday morning meeting times, to online. The church isn't the building, but it's I think you remember, it's the people. And so just because we're not gathering together in the building doesn't mean that we're not still going to be the church. We are. We're just going to gather in multiple different areas and different living rooms and homes this weekend via online. So at 10 a.m. Sunday morning, you can check us out on Facebook Live, and the entire worship service from music to the message will be here. And then by noon, you can check us out on our YouTube channel, and the entire service will be there as well. But we wanted to give a quick update because I've been asked a few questions about, Doug, how do I still continue to give? I have my tithes and offerings. If we're not going to meet in-house, how do I still give that? Because the Word of God tells us to test Him in it, to continue to give our tithes and our offerings because it's all His after all. So how do we continue to do that? Well, we have 4 different ways that we'd like to just let you know about that you can do. One of which you can go to our website at auburncn.org, and up in one of the top header lines, it'll say Giving. And when you click on that, it'll bring up a menu that talks about how to give and actually going in and giving. When you click into that, it'll take you to an external website called Stewardship Technologies. And it is a very secure website for us to be able to use. And in there, you can create your own account, and then you can put your amount in of your tithes and your offerings. You can also put in the frequency, whether you give once a month, twice a month, or some of you may give every week. You can also put that frequency in there as well. And it's a wonderful way to be able to give. In there, I do want to let you know that there are some fees that they do charge. You can either choose to cover those fees, or if you'd want the church to cover those, we will do that for you. Just check mark the appropriate box. Maybe you don't want to go that direction, so what's another way? Well, the second way is to get to your local bank. Many banks have online banking and web bill pay. And you can go there and you can do the exact same thing. You can set up a bill pay through your online banking. You can even put a frequency once a month, twice a month, every week, and put the amount in there, and your bank will automatically send us the check for your tithes and offering. Well, Doug, I don't know about this online thing. I don't really want to do online. Is there any other way? Yeah, there's 2 other ways that you can do. The third way is that you can just stop by the church office. If you are out and about, you can stop by the office and drop off your tithe and offerings if you would like. The only thing that we would ask is that you call first. Just with the sickness and everything, we're trying to make sure that someone is in the office. And so if you call, let us know that you're coming in. We will make sure someone is here in the office. And you might say, well, Doug, I don't know. What's the 4th way? Well, the 4th way is to do kind of what we used to do growing up. Whenever my mom and dad would miss, they would do a snail mail. And you can put it in the mail, address it to 2301 North Main Street, and in care of our treasurer, and we will make sure that it gets to the appropriate place. So please make sure that you're taking note of those 4 different areas. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them down below in the comment section, and we'll try to address as many of those as we can this week. Well, let me give you a moment of encouragement. You know, the Word of God tells us that Jesus says, in this life, you will have trouble. You know, we live in a day and age right now, especially in this time where it seems very chaotic. Sometimes it can seem a little fearful. Sometimes it just feels like trouble is all around us, and what do we do? Where do we go with this? And one of the things we've said here at Auburn Naz is that we don't want to live in fear, but rather in faith. And we want to live in responsibility of taking care of each other. And there are very many different places that we need your help. We need your help being able to provide maybe even food for different people in our church and in our community. And if you would be interested and are able to provide some of those things, please contact us, and we would love to be able to connect you into serving opportunities. But in this life, you will have trouble. And Jesus promised it, actually. He didn't say you might have trouble. He didn't say if you're not good enough, you're going to have trouble. No, he said in this life, regardless of who you are, regardless of where you come from, you will have trouble. But then he goes on to give us an amazing promise. And he says, but take heart. I have overcome the world. I have already defeated those things. I've already overcome all of those obstacles that the enemy wants to throw into your path. You know, when I hear that verse and we talk about it a lot, it just excites me so much because we have a God who all authority in heaven and on earth is given to him and who is in control that we can trust and have faith in. And even though the uncertainty of this time is here, that we can trust him to have our backs. We can trust him that he is walking this road with us and that he will take care of us. And even though trouble may come into our lives, he is right there. You know, I don't know what you're facing today. Maybe it's a health situation. Maybe it's a financial situation. You might be facing something going on in your family or with friends. Just fear wants to creep in onto your life. I just want to encourage you today. Jesus is with us. Take heart. He has already overcome the world. What can I do, Doug? Trust him. You know, this is a time where I believe the enemy wants us to sit back and say, God, are you still there? And I can tell you today with a resounding yes, he is still on the throne. He is still here and still working with us and in our lives. So can I offer you two things to be able to do, not only this week, but in this next month, in these next 4 weeks? Number one is to read John 16. Read the entire chapter. Go into 17 where Jesus prays specifically for you and for me. And then the second thing would be this. Take a proverb and read one proverb a day. You know, there are 31 proverbs. And if you take one a day, that'll take you through an entire month. And as you read that proverb, soak on it, think about it, write your questions down. And one of the things that I would encourage you to do is to write your questions in the comment box below if you're on YouTube watching this, or write your questions in the comment box below if you're on Facebook and watching this. And we would love to enter into a discussion together within the next 4 weeks with our moments of encouragement of handling these questions, talking about these questions together, and discussing what Jesus has to say about those. So please make sure that you're doing that. Or if you don't want to leave them in the comment box, you can email them to me at dthomas@auburncn.org. That's dthomas@auburncn.org. So thank you for joining us again today. Thank you for taking time out to just, hopefully you are encouraged with this. And we will see you Sunday morning, 10 a.m. on Facebook Live. And then on our YouTube channel, you can catch the entire worship service as well at noon. Thank you and have a great day.